a great project at the breaker, guys. So we want to learn more about this project and the construction, where we are right now, where we will be in the very near future. So I would like to introduce our management team, and Mr. Ben here, Mr. John can kind of take over and show it.
We're out in front of Breakers. This is the historic hotel right here. This is the turn-in. You can see we're covered in scaffold and visqueen right now as we finish the exterior of the building. Most of the windows are already in. The elevators will then allow us to drop our hoist as well as our trash chute. That allows us to close up our building. So that's kind of where we're headed to first, is getting the building waterproof from standing out here perspective. I think after that we'll probably head into the building and show you guys what all it looks like inside.
Are we ready to follow Mr. Ben? Go take a look at it.
Let's do it. Renato, get up here. No, we're kumbaya at this, buddy. You've done this one or more, two more, maybe 10 more times than I have. Right now we're standing in the lobby area. This is where you'll check in when you arrive at our hotel. After that, you could either head over here to all-day dining, which is back this way, jazz clubs through those doors, concierge is behind us, and the whole wall behind the folks in front of me is all going to be demolished so that we have more natural light in here. A little dark right now, as you might be able to tell. So we're in the lobby where the guests will enter. Check-in counters over here. It's all historic ceilings and walls. Behind you we'll have more natural light coming in. The walls behind you will be demolished. So we'll have bright sun on my face in the future. Back over in this direction is all-day dining. And then over here is the jazz club. So as you enter, you get to see all the extra spaces that you'll be enjoying throughout your stay. So now we're walking through the lobby and into the jazz club. The jazz club's back over this way. All-day dining is here. This is the lobby of the Breakers Hotel. So we're almost to the jazz club. We got the lobby bar over here, and our all-day dining is still in this location. So you'll be entering this way into, it's either gonna be red or green. It's up to people beyond me to decide what our color palette will be. But that's gonna be in this space over this way. Yeah, so that's what I'm used to doing, because that's how we always do it in new construction. On this job, with it being a historical remodel, we actually build it from the top down in most instances. So the top guest room is the 12th floor, but we'll be starting on the 11th because the plumbing from the sky bar and the top floors goes into floor 12. So that'll slow us down on floor 12. Floor 11 is where we're gonna start. That's where we're gonna pick up our speed and then go down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, down to floor 3. As we're doing that, we'll be building out our public spaces. My assumption is probably that the lobby is going to be the last thing that you see built. Every hotel I've ever done, that's how it always works. There's a lot of difficulty, intricacies, and there's 10 subcontractors that need to get into one room at the same time. So that's probably how it'll all come together. A lot of that will also depend on how the building encloses. We have currently, the southwest corner has a lot of windows open. So those windows are scheduled to be installed in the next 2 months, which coincides and should work well with our elevator schedule.
What is that schedule for those subcontractors to go into the project? At what area, what stage?
Right now, in a week and a half from today, the electrician's supposed to start doing all of the conduit roughing on the room floors. So that'll start in a week and a half. You'll notice as we walk around, the sprinkler lines are pretty much roughed in. Other than that, it's a little bit of mechanical work, but the electrician has the most work to do right now to catch up with the status of the rest of the project.
In terms of the size of the building right now, and looking at electrical, I mean, how many electricians, how large is the electrician team right now to go in and do all this wiring work?
Yeah, for the electricians to catch up, they're gonna need about 30 of the, at peak, we'll be at 150 to 200, but at the beginning, we'll probably be closer to 40 or 50, and I expect half of those almost to be electricians. That'll always be a fun dance. Electricians are sometimes, they like to be a little more difficult than other contractors sometimes. So we'll be working through those kinks with our contractor, but that's just part of the game.
Yeah, that's great. We're looking at the schedule for the construction from where we are right now to where the completion is, you know, and it have to be, tell us about the schedule for the construction.
Yeah, so
it is aggressive. Right?
It's pretty aggressive. It's doable because what we're trying to do, scheduling's all about work releasing work. So a lot of people like to say, I can't start because so-and-so's not done. All right, fine, well what can you start on? Because I know you can do something. And that's where we really get smarter, is a lot of contractors just don't want to start something until everyone's out of their way. Well, we're not going to be able to do that here. So we're going to have to do a lot of finish to start relationships, start to start relationships where you do different scheduling applications so that everyone's not just sitting on their hands waiting on the person in front of them to be finished. I just need that little bit done so that then I can do some things while you finish. That's the massaging that we're going to be going through over the next month or so.
So in terms of looking at the construction schedule, right, it will be packed. Can you get can you share with us like how many workers, how many subcontractors, and how many people that, you know, from different subcontractors that on a monthly basis that come and work on this project right now?
Yeah, we have about 5 contractors direct to us as the owner. One of those is the general contractor, because we have low voltage and IT and FF&E and some things to us. But the general contractor will have about 30 to 40 subcontractors. Of those, there'll be anywhere from 150 to 200 personnel on the job site. I would expect to hit those numbers at about 2 months into the job. In the first 2 months, it'll be slower. And then we should be peaking at 150 to 200 people. And to hit all these numbers, we have to put $4 million of work in place a month. We have to do that for at least 12 months to hit the 16-month, 18-month schedule that we have in front of us. So you can see we're on level 12 right now, walking through the corridor. And when I said we're at 40% complete, that's because that's based on our, like a TI budget, tenant improvement. But we already had this whole building here. So the actual building's probably closer to 70% complete. You can see all the framings in, ducts are in, sprinkler lines. So we've probably only got about 30% of ground up construction left to do, if that makes sense.
How big are you?
We're currently standing in the Sky Room right now. It's probably the most historic piece of this building, I would think. It's going to be a great venue for weddings, any business functions, and it's got wraparound views of Long Beach, 360. So I don't think there's any other place in Long Beach that offers you this, especially with the elegance factor that we have.
You know, like we mentioned about the construction for, you know, brick and metal frame, concrete framing versus the you know, wood frame construction, and how expensive this type of construction should be. Where we looking at like Pacific Northwest Seattle, the wood frame construction cost below $280 per square feet. But that where, you know, with this type of structure, with this kind of construction, it could go up to, you know, 3 times more in terms of the cost, right? Easily.
Yeah, brand new construction, it's way more expensive to do concrete for sure. That's one thing we're lucky about, is this building's been here for almost 100 years and withstood tons and tons of earthquakes because of the way it was constructed originally with the concrete. Additionally, you'll see around you this black stuff on the walls is FRP. It's adding additional structure to our building. So we've done improvements as well on top of what we had. So it'll be here a long time, already has been.
And with this kind of structure right now, I mean, with the new building code, new concrete and steel, would they be a strong this structure here?
I don't think you can build this, or the cost, or even the materials at this point anyway.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, you'd have to, especially in this marketplace right now, you'd lose a lot of the wow factor that this building has for sure. Like John said, they don't do them like this anymore. I mean, the wood frame buildings, you can't span certain sizes. I mean, they've gotten a lot better over the past few years, but as you go upstairs and even downstairs, some of the ceiling spaces and intricacies of the designs are definitely unique.
It's definitely a strong building, and the way that that's being built, yeah.
Yeah. You want to go upstairs and check out the Cirrus Lounge?
Sure.
It's fancy. There we go. I have events up here 24/7. And then there's also a rooftop space that you'll access through glass doors. That's all exterior, no noise ordinances. So this is going to be a pretty big party spot up here. There's no places like this in Long Beach to have events that you can have outside space. So it's definitely, I know I've used the word a few times, but it's definitely unique as well.
So tell us about the schedule for the construction side that we're looking at the number of workers and subcontractors coming to the project and working every single month. And we also mentioned about working from down up, which is the lobby up, and we're working from the top down in terms of finished work.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll be starting on 11 and working our way down. The space up here will probably be like the lobby and trail the rest of the guest rooms. And then a lot of the productivity of this space is going to be contingent on access to it as well. So getting material up here and things like that will be things that we have to work through. But as you can see, we've gotten steel up here already, and that's the heaviest stuff. So after that, it's just boxes of pavers and boxes of this and that. So all of that will start progressing in the first few months.
Right. So with the challenging of the material and worker we experience right now, how is the company dealing with that?
One of the benefits we had was, since we started the job and paused it, was we got to weed out, if you will, less competent contractors and contractors that weren't able to stay in the marketplace through COVID. So positives and negatives to COVID. One of the positives is there were a lot of fake contractors in the market that got weeded out. They just weren't able to hang around. So we've got a new framer and a new plumber. We kept our electrician, we kept our mechanical contractor. So what that's done is it's allowed us to get some better contractors, to be honest, that are better able to support the project. Additionally, we're doing a job 2 doors down with the same general contractor, so we know which subcontractors are already expended all their resources, and we try to stay away from using them here. So that's been a great help for us.
So with the band, if you were to pull out the construction schedule right now for the month of April, May, to July, and August, September, how would that look like in terms of number of workers, number of subcontractors?
We're going to start with about 60 workers, and then we'll be up to 150 hopefully by the summer. And then hopefully by, we're in April, so hopefully by the end of August, the building's watertight. And then we've started to route our electrical in. Our electrical is going to allow us to turn on our elevators, and that's where the critical path of the construction is.
Right, right. And here in local area, Southern California, it pretty much like allow for worker to work on a project all year long without any restriction.
Yeah, I mean, today would have been a rain day, but we get maybe 5 of those all year long, so they're very minimal. And additionally, when we do have a rain day, we're not building the outside of the building, it's already built. So I mean, even when we do have an inclement weather day, we're still able to be productive in other parts of the building. So that shouldn't be too big of a schedule constraint. The only really schedule thing we've had happen so far significant was we were hoping to start sooner, but we're starting in a week and a half. And that was all contingent on getting plumbing material. PEX piping is having some delays from everything going on in the world. It's probably in one of those boats out there off our coast right now. But it's gotten here, and that's why we're starting next week.
That is, yeah, that is wonderful. That is great. Yeah.
So if would you like to go to maybe the next space, show them out there with some sun on our faces?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Here in Southern California, right?
There you go.
Where the rest of the world wants to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I left North Carolina.
Yeah, and we mentioned about the success of the project, success of the development, success of the entitlement, success of the construction. And looking at this particular project, you know, after we spend, you know, the last hour to tour the building and look at, you know, all the aspects, anything from framing to flooring to the finished work and the addition and add-on, we have to come to the conclusion that this is more like, compared to the ground up construction, this is more like a 75 completion. Ben, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely different than new construction.
Right. And the amount of work schedule and the subcontractor, the schedule to come into the project, the greater amount. And so we mentioned about the pulling out the construction schedule right now and looking at the month of, you know, April, May, you know, June, July, August, September. You know, can you kind of share with us, you know, what that looked like?
Yeah, so those first 6 months are going to be key, getting us ramped up. I kind of touched on it, but the electrical is going to be the critical component of it all, so that we can power our elevators when they arrive. That allows us to button up the outside, get rid of our hoist, get rid of our trash chute, get rid of scaffolding around the perimeter. So the electrical systems in place to support our elevators, those first 6 months is going to be where the critical path lies. Few windows to put in, but that's easy stuff, and then we'll be on our way.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mentioned that's pretty impressive construction schedule, right? And of course, right here in Southern California, you know, unlike Pacific Northwest, Seattle, or other market, the weather kind of in favor of the construction, you can say, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had rain this morning, but the good part about a TI project is there's other places to work if you can't work on the roof. So I mean, it's not like we're still pouring concrete slabs and going to get hit by weather days if we had weather days. And then on top of that, we don't really have too many weather days in Southern California. So that's kind of why I moved here from North Carolina. Was I've been in construction for 20 years, and one summer of working on a masonry crew on a scaffold 50 feet in the air, I was done. So here I am, and we don't do inclement weather out here. No bad weather allowed.
That's great. That's what, you know, it's a lot of investors, they come to America, beside the national anthem, they learn about a song called Hotel California. Yeah. so that's why we mentioned about Hotel California. It's not like Hotel of Nebraska, right? Or Hotel Wyoming, right? Yeah.
Although Wyoming would be cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so famous that the Eagles, you know, they sang that song back in the 70s, and they still sing it now.
Yeah.
This is definitely a good hotel. It's a great construction schedule. It's a good impressive in terms of looking at all the work that's done on the property, and look at the future of the construction schedule for what it will be. So I'm very confident in this team and this company and this project. Get to the finish line. That's where all of us wanted to see. So we really appreciate the team, taking the time, from your busy schedule today to show us and to us all this.
We look forward to welcoming all our new investors here.
Mr. David, any questions?
No, it's a great deal. I think the construction team have it. There's no ways I could give any expertise to these guys. They are the experts. So good luck, guys, and keep us posted, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evelyn?
This is a great project, and I just feel so honored to be even invited to this site. And then thank you so much for, turning us around and show us all this beautiful, progress. We look forward to seeing the final result.
Oh, thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Jeb, what is your feedback about this?
Oh, it's a great remodel project, and you guys got a head start with the shell, so construction's moving along fast, and it's a beautiful site.
Yeah,
Excited.
and then of course we wanted to know about the money man in terms of how do we fund the project and pay for all the workers. Are we gonna have the aggressive construction schedule? It's also involved heavily in financing and payroll, right?
Yeah, so we have in place again $94 million of financing that will allow us to construct the project. We have another $10 million coming from the historical tax credit. And so we have almost the entire amount needed to complete the project from here until 2023. The EB5 money will be used to actually repatriate some of our capital that we already invested. Because at the end of the project, without repatriating capital, we'll be in for $95 million of our money that we would like to actually repatriate so we can do more projects. That's our intention. That's what we're doing also with the other people. So money is there, the project is there. We're not stopping for any reason whatsoever.
Included the weather.
I need to have somebody staying in this hotel October 1st, 2023. That's the goal. So
That is excited. That is excited.
and I'll be at the bar.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Ben mentioned about the monthly expense payout. How are we looking at that in terms of take care?
It's already allocated.
Allocated.
It's already allocated from the lender. Yes, the lender, the money from the lender is fully funded.
Right.
So that's why we were hoping to start even earlier, because the money is sitting there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And we do pay out substantial amount of money every single month.
Yes.
yeah,
To our
It's a $4
workers.
million a month run.
yeah. Ben mentioned about $4 million a month. That maybe the $4 million price tag will probably come 2 or 3 months down the line. It will be built up to that, and it will be pretty consistent every month until we get to completion. Then there's going to be a pause, and then the last money coming in, the last largest expenditure will be FF&Es and OS&E. So towards the end of the construction, there will be another $6 or $7 million within the last 2 months of construction just for that.
That is great. That is great, strong. Yeah. Mr. John, any feedback that you want our investors to know?
It's a beautiful project. We're super excited about partnership with you guys. Anybody coming in, can't wait for the people to come and visit our hotel and have a cocktail with us.
That is great. That's what we all looking for, right? Yeah. It's called win-win transaction.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Win-win transaction is win-win life.
Yes.
Amen.
That's great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to the camera guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay.